What we're going to do today, welcome to You Teach Me, this is Deyarko returns, extremely amazing producer. We're going to teach you a little thing today where we're going to do some drum and bass tutorials, and it's going to be a drum and bass tutorial in an hour, and we're going to talk you through how to actually do a whole drum and bass track. I have got my Logic template that you can see on here, which shows we have a few massive synths in there. We have battery and a bit of contact, not a lot of contact. So we're using my computer, and I've given this template to Deyarko for him to make a drum and bass tune in 1 hour. Do you think you can do it?
I believe so. I believe I could do it in half an hour. Let's try.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. So we're going to show you a little bit of Deyarko's music. We're going to cut to Deyarko's music now. And we're back. Amazing, as per usual. Where can people get your stuff, man?
I've now currently opened up a YouTube page, which is called Deyarko. So yeah, please subscribe. It'd be nice to see quite a few comments and some audiences towards my stuff. But yeah, that's and also on the Instagram as well. Yeah. Deyarko Returns, and Aerial Manor also is the record label. So yeah, please listen out for it.
And do you want to work with any other artists out there at all, or anything like that?
I don't mind. Collaboration's always good. Ideas together bounce off and create good energy. I believe once you can coincide with others, it just creates a universe rather than it just being an island.
Exactly.
So everybody has an input in everything.
That is exactly what we are all about, and that's why we've brought in Deyarko here to give you one of the top drum and bass tutorials today. Okay, so Deyarko, what we're going to start off with first, and what should we start off with if we're going to think to make a track, in a drum and bass track?
Well, I personally believe, really and truly, you should start off with a beat, to be fair, because it kind of gets you into the momentum of where your drive is, how you would apply any other noises or sounds towards your beat. As it says, drum and bass. It doesn't say bass and drum. It says drum and bass. So obviously you'll start with your drums, apply your bass. Melodies can fit and coincide, not too much and too repetitive. All you just got to have is your idea, and try and create your idea and bring your idea to life. And that's what this package is about, and that's what hopefully this tutorial should be able to allow you to do at the end of it.
Okay, so we're going to use battery here.
Yeah.
Have you obviously used battery before?
I've used battery before. Very good plugin.
Yeah.
To invest in, especially if you're quite creative with sounds and drums. They've got so much different alternative sounds and drums within its libraries. It's quite adventurous as well, because you think you can manipulate some of the sounds in there and tweak them and tune them into what you want to do. If it's not the sound that originally comes out, you can play around with it, which is the best I believe in flexibility. So I mean, it's just really what your sound preference and what your ideas are. Always be firm in your ideas. If you hear something, try and get that sound. Don't question it too much. Your ears should be able to tell you the equivalent to what you think.
Okay, brilliant. So thanks very much, Deyarko. Let's get started on that beat. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's try this out. Let's see, at the front of the page, normally have a loop, which I would normally open up the screen a bit wider. So I would say at the top, for those that's first hand using a sequencer, I class this as a ruler. For example, you're doing maths, you're doing measurements, you're seeing how much millimeters, centimeters you have in your adjustments and you're measuring. Take it like that. So your loop is a length, and length within time, you measure your times. So you got 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, 32 bars. So you start off with your loop. Me, I try to keep it as simple as possible. So 1 to 4 bar, just to kind of build a drum pattern and see how stable it is, and go from there. So the loop is from 1 to 5.
Which do you prefer doing more? Do you like using the mouse and typing in the drum pattern, or do you like doing it on the keyboard the most, or do you like doing a mix of both?
What do you mean? So do you mean the tempo itself?
The when you're actually making the drum pattern itself.
Okay, the drum pattern itself, your test. For example, we've got a kit in here called Big Wave Kit. So we've got a kick. So different kind of kicks you'd have within there. You'd have snares, claps, another snare, which you can use in the tune as well. What's this one? Toms, shakers, a closed hat, a tighter closed hat, cymbal, a bigger kick. So it's quite spreaded all over the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, for example, we're going to start with a kick. So I think the heaviest kick you can find, which will give you more definition in an accent, like for example, the first punch. It's the first kick. It's the first direct approach. So that kick, or that kick. I choose this kick because it sounds to be more solid than the other two that I picked. So record with a click your metronome, because I want to constantly hear it in the background as well.
Okay.
So you, at least you know when you're quantizing. Quantizing means making sure that the notes that you set is to the line within the loop. So then there's no, it's sturdy. Some producers like their stuff authentic, which is a bit lazy, you know. But when you're doing drum and bass drum patterns, for the basic foundation, I believe you have to have foundation which is solid.
Yeah.
So a kick and a snare and a hat, just to give you the right time.
Yeah,
right
just have to have that strong backbone. Is that
That's
right?
correct. Yes. So we'll start recording first with a kick. No tempo, no metronome.
I don't tell you.
There we go. Right, delete that region. So, I'd go to this part of Logic if you're using Logic.
Right.
It's quantize. I keep it to a 1 to an 8, which is solid.
Yeah.
So when I apply the click again, it stays in timing. So when I take the quantize off, that's my natural way that I recorded it in. See, the glitchiness on the second one. 1, 2. That's the glitchy one. When I tidy it up by putting on the quantize, you see the little shift?
Yeah.
So now it's
a lot tighter.
Yeah, it's a lot more tighter.
It's right on the beat. Isn't it?
Okay, so I consistently have that loop going. I've doubled the channel because of the sound that I've got in there, so it saves me opening up a new section. I'll just put the snare on another channel. So when it's time for you to mix your kick, your snare, it's a lot more flexible rather than them being joint together. So it's always good to set your kick separately to your snares, all your percussive stuff separate. So when it's time to mix, you can manipulate it a lot more better.
It's on the 2. Yeah,
so the 2 and the 4.
So it's on the 2 and the 4.
So it's on the 2 and the 4.
That's cool.
On this, but then if you're doing a tempo of 120, it'll be on a 3. Do you get what I'm coming from?
Yeah,
so it's all depending on how your beat is.
It's very important.
It's very important because you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is boom, clap, boom, clap, boom, clap, boom, clap. Or you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's boom, clap, boom, clap.
Yes. Because you get them sort of different types of flavors in drum and bass as well, don't you?
And that also goes to your timing of your metronome.
Yeah.
And the speed as well. So if it's faster,
yeah,
your claps or your snares,
they're going to adjust more.
They're going to adjust more. They're going to move forward.
Yeah.
Rather than it being on a 3, it'll be on a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's try. Right. Quantize that so it's more sturdier. To the hats. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to compensate the metronome instead of the metronome being there consistently now, I'm going to put a hi-hat in replace
of the metronome. Okay.
So then
why'd you do that?
Because as you progress in your tune or your song, the metronome's going to be an annoying noise.
Yeah.
And that's how I thought myself. I don't want this click, click, click going through. Because when I record and bounce down my final production, that's not going to be in it. Because it's just the timing from the machine.
Yeah,
so if I've missed out that timing and that timing's keeping me at go, I've got to put something to replace it in there. So it keeps me at timing and go.
Do you add more hi-hats to it?
I add more percussive stuff to make it sound more authentic as a drummer. To try and put some body towards it. I wouldn't just leave it.
Okay, so that's interesting. So instead of making the drums start off authentic, you start off with a strong, rigid bass and then do an authenticism from outwards. Okay, correct. Because you have that bass that you can.
So you're now building up a character within the drums. And then if you present a character in front of somebody, they've got definitions.
Okay.
An arm, foot, nose, ears. So you've got all different variations towards things. So that's how I see a drum pattern. A drum pattern would have the basis, which is the feet. Then you start moving towards the legs, which help you move. The rest of the drum patterns start giving you motion where your body starts moving. So you're now giving life to a beat. Do you understand? So it's how you become creative. Everybody has a template, I'd say, towards what they've heard via raving to it, listening to it on the radio, somebody's played it to them. So you've got some form of indication of music to a degree. We only question how do we get that sound, or what is that sound, to define what that sound is. The difference between a hi-hat, a tambourine. These are high-end percussive stuff that give you the timing. Hence why a percussive person's in a band. He keeps the timing alongside with the drummer. So if you have that idea in your mind,
that's a good point actually.
Constantly, always mimic a band. Regardless if it's synthetic.
That's
sounds,
a really good point.
Have a band in mind. What the drummer does, the importance of what a drummer does, and a bass guitar is tied to a drummer. I
feel that's lost a lot of time. Sometimes in some electronic music, sometimes when people start as producers,
we forget.
I think it's. I totally agree. It's totally got to be understanding the music from the way it's built, from the makeup. I believe that's helped me personally.
It's just a band. You've got your musicians, your guitarists, your keyboardists, even down to your vocalists will sit at a certain time or certain place. From you've got your intro of your song. Do you know what I mean? Then
you learn a lot from doing. You learn a lot from
it. So I always recommend firsthand, when you're building stuff, just put a band in your mind and know how to break down and identify what is a band. A drummer, bass guitarist, keyboardist, so I mean lead percussive person, and then you'll be able to make a lot more things meet together in your production of stuff.
I totally agree actually.
Okay, so far we've got kick and drum, kick and snare, and now I want to apply the hats, take away that click, click, click. Record it in. Okay, so now quantize 1/8 and we take this click off. And that's good so far. So we'll add more stuff in.
Will you go to EQing any of this now?
I wouldn't spend time on EQing anything yet until you've got sturdy foundational beat where the manipulations of ups and downs, instruments just in the background, effects. Drum and bass is just not just like that. It brings there's characteristics in there. There's ambience in there. There's how to create ambience means okay. The beat is the floor. How do I put furniture in? How do I put what from outside? Where's the grass? Where's the trees? Where's the sound of the air? What does if the air's there, what's the sound does it make? And when it bounces off things, and question a lot of things without going into too much depth, just so you can create a feel or an atmosphere for your stuff.
That's vital information right there.
Yeah.
But again, I think a lot of musicians miss that point as well. Like
they miss the music that goes on now. Personally, I can say to myself, it just sounds like programming people music. So
that's what I noticed with your music as well. Like, you've got a lot of depth and atmosphere within there as well. At the same time, it's not brick wall.
No, I try to bring my dreams, or emotional thoughts, or any form of characteristic thoughts towards my music. Then you can, if you hear some of the stuff, then you'd know where I'm at, or you can hear where I've gone with it, or so it's just you trying to own your brand as a character in what you're doing via your music. So for example, if it's whatever you're setting, and just let it ride. Just let it ride. Don't be too stiff and rigid. Just be adventurous. Put some different stuff in there, make people think, what's that? Did I hear that?
Cool.
Yeah, so right, so that I've metronomed it out, it's gone. So now we'll go for some depth.